Then the other bane of bureaucracy that we often see people talk about is
emails.
Email. This is very interesting. Sam Altman. Do we know who Sam Altman is?
He is the founder of a very unknown company that definitely hasn't been on the rise lately. I think it's called ChatGPT.
And before that, he was running Y Combinator, And
I didn't know that.
Ever hear that? Do you have Sam's picture in his bio? We can pop that up. People take a look at that, Kellyanne.
Y Combinator.
Yep. Sam Altman. So he was running that. And he invested in a lot of companies over that. And through Y Combinator, and by the way, I did a case study on Y Combinator, so we'll put a link in the notes here. Kellyanne put a link in the notes to the Biz Doc case study available from Valuetainment in the Valuetainment content library. So you can go check that out. But what Y Combinator did was an incubator accelerator. And Sam eventually came to an assessment. And he did a bunch of assessment. He said, let's take a look at all the CEOs of the organizations in Y Combinator that have achieved X status, like what they used to call escape velocity. Escape velocity is you can launch a rocket into the sky, and it can come back down to Earth. You can launch a rocket into orbit and see if it stays there, or you can launch a rocket to the moon or beyond, like distant, like satellites for deep space. That's called escape velocity, is you launch something to get beyond the Earth's gravity and get out. So he would look at what companies have achieved escape velocity. In other words, what ones have really grown and got to the point where they're going to be on their own journey, they don't need the incubator anymore. And he did an assessment. How quickly did those CEOs respond to him? And he said it was amazing. The ones that were the most successful, and do we have a picture of Sam and Y Combinator here? Let's pop this up. You'll instantly know because his face is all over the news.
Yeah.
There you go. But here he is, on the future of AI and things like that. And also, and I think he was Stanford. Yeah. He's one of the Stanford guys.
On the right, education.
Yep, exactly. And so he looked at it, and you ready for this? The higher performing companies in the Y Combinator portfolio versus the lower performing companies in the portfolio, guess who was responding quicker?
I'll take a wild guess here and say the higher performing.
You are correct. Starbucks card for Kai. That's exactly right. And so it's very interesting. Here's what you can do. If you run a company and you've got more than 2 or 3 on your staff and more than 5 million in revenue, run this test. Look at all your direct reports and have somebody go do a quick assessment in your email box. Who responds to you quicker? And then look back at the ones that you would stack rank according to their last review or how you're feeling about them right now, the last one-on-one you had with them or you gave them some performance feedback. The ones that are responding quicker and by the way, responding quicker is a function of several things. How organized is their inbox? Do they take the time to make folders and to make rules so they can get the emails into buckets so they can see the more important emails first? Are they organized? And then second, do they have enough time in the day, how they manage their time and their people, that they have enough time to respond to you? So, talks about their own time management. And guess what? If they're organized, and they're organized, and they're organized, and they can respond to you, guess what? It's probably the people that are going to come higher in your list. And you have an instant coaching opportunity with them. So whether you got 10 people and you're running a t-shirt company in Berlin, you're running a tech company in Silicon Valley, you can apply this in your own business and at all kinds of businesses in between and immediately give people coaching. Because I'm too busy to get back to you, I got a lot going on. No, organize your inbox, organize your time better, delegate to your people better, because I need you to be responding to me on strategic things. It's got nothing to do with micromanagement, it's got everything to do with urgency and business needs. And what do you think of Sam? Do you think he's being too hard on people?
No, I think I'm sure he has a point, and obviously there's a level of urgency as well. And then the other part you were talking about, I'm reading this book on workflows and automation, and it's talking about, I'm thinking here it's going to go into softwares, this, that, and the other.
So you're reading a book on workflow and automation?
Yes, and I thought initially this would go into like softwares and stuff like that, but in the beginning it starts a lot with, okay, what's the workflow of your day, and like how do you kind of set that up for success in terms of responding to things, sorting things to where what's urgent and high priority you need to do right away, what is urgent but low priority you need to schedule, and then it talks about what is neither urgent nor high priority. You just need to try to get rid of it. What's urgent but not high priority could also be something that you try to delegate and stuff like that. So it's very interesting of how structuring and really looking at what moves the numbers forward. They were talking about in Jotform, which was the company by the founder who wrote the book. He talked about they had 2 metrics they measured for like the first 10 years: new signups and daily users. He said that there's a ton of other metrics they can look at, but he said these are the 2 most important. It's how many new people are we getting, and then how many people are sticking on the platform. Everything else is kind of just noise. But those 2 were the driving measures.
Yeah, financials and profit will take care of itself if you're generating those and you're getting subscription revenue or ad revenue, whatever the business model underlying that.
Yeah. So I think also, which interestingly enough goes back to the whole meetings as well, is like that's another way of like, is this urgent? Is it priority? And then what can be delegated? What can be offloaded and stuff like that. So between the urgency of knowing what the right tasks to work on are, and then also knowing what you don't need to worry about in terms of tasks is a huge importance in terms of being.
What's the name of the book? We'll put it in the comments.
Automate Your Workflow, I believe the name of the book is. I can check.
So in other words, Kai,
yep,
a single guy in South Florida, is reading a book on workflow management in his spare time.
Automate Your Busy Work is the book.
Peter, it says, we need in the comment section also to put whatever dating site link you're using. Okay. Because if you're reading a book on workflow management in your spare time while you've come back from Norway, celebrating your sister's MD, so great thing in the company, but it's summer in Florida, and in his spare time, Kai is reading a book on workflow management. We need like a GoFundMe for like a dating budget.
That's a high value man right there, ladies.
There we go.
I'm open for it. But no, I think I mean I need to know how to automate my busy work so I could focus more on that.